Y'all, if I would have known that being a notary would generate so much money, I would have gotten into this profession a long time ago. My notary business has been profitable since day one, and I am going to share with you why this career is a great one to get into and why I feel like I am making more money as a notary than as a doctor. Stay tuned. What's up out there to all of my fellow gold diggers? This is your girl Rita, also known as the self-proclaimed gold digger. Welcome to my channel where I discuss my life as a wife, mom, entrepreneur, and business owner, all while trying to crush and achieve my goals. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. I am so glad to have you. And if you are a fellow gold digger, welcome back. I love and I appreciate each and every one of you. I have to give a special thank you to all the gold diggers out there for helping me to get to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. If you are tuning in and you like the content and you have not subscribed, I don't know what you are waiting for. Go ahead, subscribe to the channel. If you're enjoying the video or you get to the end and you enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. And remember, since I know we do have a lot of new people, this is Gold Digger, Goal. We are not the other kind, okay? But anyway, so what I'm going to be talking about today is how I feel that my notary business has been much more profitable than me working as a doctor. I am an optometrist. So I started my notary business about a year ago, and I got into it as a side hustle to have an extra stream of income. And pretty much I have been making money from it from the first month that I got into it. So much so, I was like, this is definitely a career path that people should look into. Part of the reason I started doing some of these side hustles is because my kids are in middle school, high school, that kind of thing. And I wanted to see what careers are out there where if all you did was finish high school, what could you get into and still make money, still be profitable? And this was one of the ones that I stumbled upon and got into, okay? Now, I'm going to share you some 5 reasons why I feel that this, being a notary, a mobile notary, is a great career for you to pursue, okay? So the first thing, or the first reason why I feel like it is a great career, is that everyone needs a notary. I know some of y'all are up here like, I don't even know what a notary is. I have never used a notary, but trust me, everybody needs a notary. If you're getting married, for your marriage license, you need a notary. If you're getting divorced, for your divorce decree, you need a notary. If you're buying a house, you need a notary. If you're selling a house, you need a notary. If you're refinancing your house, you need a notary. If you are in the hospital and you can't really make decisions for yourself, or you know you won't be able to make decisions for yourself, you're going to need a notary. If you're traveling overseas, you're going to need a notary. Those documents need to be notarized. If you decide to open up your own business, guess what? When you go to apply for your business license, a lot of states, a lot of counties require for that application to be notarized, and you are going to need a notary. So everyone needs a notary. You will be surprised the types of documents that need to be notarized, or the things that people are reaching out to you for notarizations. Okay, it's so many different things where a notarization is required, and these type of individuals will be reaching out to you. All right. Now, the next reason why this is a great career to pursue is that there are many different avenues that you can do when it comes to being a notary. Okay, so you might be like, well, part of the reason I got into it is because I heard about loan signings, because I was like a lot of you people, I was like, what can a notary do? Like, how can we even make this profitable or whatever? And one of my friends told me about loan signings, which is pretty much when someone buys a house, sells a house, refinances their house, that kind of thing. The property changes into someone else's name, into a trust or something like that. Those documents have to be notarized. So I got into the notary business because of all that I heard about loan signings. Once I got here, though, I realized loan signings is not really my ministry. Like, it's not really for me. I'll do it, but it's not what I really want to do as a notary. And I've discovered that there are so many different avenues that you can pursue when it comes to being a notary. Like, you could just be a notary at your job. Maybe that's what you're doing now. Like, hey, yeah, I work at this company and they needed me to become a notary to notarize these documents. Yes, that is one avenue that you can pursue. Or you could play up on your resume and have on there. Or you could possibly be doing what's called general notary work, where the public is reaching out to you because they have documents, school forms, business licenses, things of that nature, where they need to have it notarized, and they are contacting you for your individual services from your individual business to get their documents notarized. Now, you can also do weddings. In some states, a notary can act as a wedding officiant. I am commissioned in South Carolina and in Georgia, but in South Carolina, the notary can act as a wedding officiant and facilitate a wedding. And I have done that before, and it was such an amazing experience that I'm so excited about being able to do that again. Now, there are also things that you can do, like fingerprinting, I-9 verifications, taking care of foreign documents. That's called an apostille or apostille. All of those are different avenues, and there are different things that you can do within, or different niches under the umbrella of being a notary. So it's so many different avenues that you can pursue even as a notary, and that's why I feel like it's a great career choice to look into. Now, the next thing that I'm going to say is a good reason to look into it is because you have flexible hours. You can work as much or as little as you want. Y'all know, well, you may or may not know, I have a full-time business that I'm running and operating with employees and stuff like that. And I don't have a whole lot of free time. So the fact that I can accept a job, whether it's from a loan signing or something, say that I'm available, try and do it, or that kind of thing. Or if someone is calling my business directly, my notary business directly, and needing me to assist with their notarizations, I can let them know, yes, I'm available, no, I'm not available. So it's very, very flexible. You can work as much or as little as you want. Keep in mind, if you want your business to be successful, though, you're going to have to get out there and you're going to have to hustle and get your name out there if you do want to see more business. Now, with me being so busy, I have not really advertised for my business. Most people find me through my Google business page. I haven't run any ads or anything like that, but they find me that way. And part of the reason I haven't done a lot of advertising is because of the fact that I already know my schedule is limited. But you can work as much or as little as you want. And I'm going to get into a little bit about the numbers that I made last month and show you just how little you can actually work and still make some decent money. Now, next up, another reason why this is a good profession or a good career to look into is because it is relatively easy to become a notary. Now, each state has different requirements. Some states might require you to take a test. For the state of South Carolina, pretty much all I had to do was fill out an application and mark that I could read and write in the English language and that I was 18 years of age, and get that form notarized, and I sent it in, and they sent me a certificate saying that I was commissioned as a notary. For Georgia, when it came to that, getting my commission, it was a similar process. I had to fill out an application, but I also had to have 2 people attest to my character. And then I took that application to the county clerk's office, and they swore me in that very day and awarded me my commission. I didn't have to take a test or anything like that, but just be mindful, certain states, certain counties, you might be required to take a test before becoming a notary. So that's why I say it's relatively easy to get into. You're 18 years of age. You know, I just had to be able to read and write in English, and a couple of people had to vouch that I was a good and decent person, and I swore that I would uphold, the laws or whatever that governing this particular position or whatever, and that was it. Now, the last and final reason why I say becoming a notary is a great career to pursue is that you can make money quickly. Like, pretty much in my first month of actively doing it, like when I really was like, okay, I've learned the things that I need to learn, I'm ready to go out and do stuff, I made money. I want to say, because I'm trying to remember, since it's been about a year, I want to say that first month I made about $700 doing it, and I feel that wasn't that bad, and I wasn't even that that busy because I was still new. So you can make decent money doing this. Now, Why I say that I make more money as a notary compared to me working as a doctor, that is what we are about to get into next, okay? The reason why I say that is because there are so many different things you can pursue when it comes to notary. Now, same thing for you being an eye doctor or an optometrist or whatever. There's different paths you can pursue with that as well. But as I look back on some stuff in hindsight, my initial investment into my schooling, so going to undergrad, going to optometry school, that is a big investment. I ended up opening my own business. I have my own practice that I'm running. That was a big investment. Like both of those student loans when I graduated, it was over, I think I had $225,000 in student loans. When I opened up my business, it was pretty close to that, like 250, and I still owe about 150,000 on each of those, so like a total of $300,000. So I still haven't made back my investment yet. Like I have, even though I might make money or I have a salary and stuff like that, I still have not made back my initial investment. I still have not been able to pay off what I borrowed to get into the profession. Versus with notary, yes, it was some startup costs, but I want to say it was like $1,000 to $1,200 that I invested in it. And I told you in my first month I made $700. By the second month, I paid back that investment. So anything I'm making now is pretty much profit. That is not necessarily the case when it comes to me working as an optometrist, and that's why I say that initial investment up front is a lot. Now, also, it took 3 years just me working in my actual optometry business, my private practice, not when I first got out of school. It took me 3 years before I was even able to generate a profit in terms of it being to sustain my income. That's not to say I didn't make money, but it took 3 years before the money that I was making was enough to be like sustainable for me to be able to pay all my bills and stuff like that. And that's pretty much typical, especially when you start a business. They usually say it takes about 2 to 3 years before your business will be able to be sustain you compared to compared to what you might have made prior to opening your business. So that's kind of a given. But yeah, it took 3 years before I could even turn a profit. And one of the requirements of my loan is like they know that going into it up front. One of the requirements of my practice loan was that I was required to work outside of my practice because they already knew my practice was not going to generate enough income for me to sustain myself and pay my bills. So a requirement of my business loan was I had to actively be working outside of my practice a couple of days out of the week to make sure that I was going to be able to pay my bills and pay them back too, pay them back for their loan, make my loan payments and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to being a notary, I told you I was going to share some of my numbers. Just last month, I made $1,500 for the month. Now, that is very small compared to what some people who are doing it full time do. But I made $1,500 in the month working only 20 hours for the month. 20 hours. I didn't say 20 hours a week. 20 hours for the whole month. I made $1,500, and I actually rounded up. It was more like 18 and a half hours or whatever, for simplicity's sake, I'm gonna say 20 hours. And I also factored in my drive time, like to and from my different assignments, as well as driving to, like if I had to drop off a document or stuff like that, including like the time I actually spent with the signers was roughly 20 hours. I had 15 assignments, 4 of them were loan signings, and 11 of them were general notary work assignments. So that is phenomenal to me. Now, another reason why I say I feel like I make more money as a notary compared to as a doctor is because when I went to optometry school, I had delayed entry into the workforce. Like it's 8 years of school before you can actually start, working and making money before, you're working for free before, but until you can start working and making money versus as a notary, like I said, most of them require you to be 18 years of age. You can start working immediately. Imagine if I would have known about this while I was in school, and I could have been doing that part-time and, helping to fund my education or just helping to pay some of my bills. I really wish I had known about this earlier and just was doing it part-time or as a side hustle or something like that to kind of help sustain myself while I was in school as well, because maybe I wouldn't have to take out so many student loans. Maybe I would have been able to pay, a portion of my tuition, that kind of thing. So yes, it delayed my entry into the workforce, which ultimately delayed me being able to make money. And the last thing that I'm going to say is why I feel like I make more money as a notary compared to an optometrist is because I'm still tied to my investment. Like I said, I'm still in the hole for $300,000. So it's not as easy for me to walk away from that because I'm still tied to my investment. I still got to pay all of that stuff back. Now, I do plan on retiring from optometry within the next 5 years. And pursuing whatever I want to do. Yes, I'm still tied to my investment. I still have student loans. I still have a practice loan to pay off, so I can't as easily walk away. Not saying I even really want to, because I'm still building up my practice or whatever, but I do plan on retiring in about 5 years and having have the flexibility to work when and where I want to. So I'll still keep my optometry license, but it's not like I'm gonna, I'll come in a day here or, a couple of days a month or whatever. I can do whatever I want once I have some of the loans and everything paid off. So that is why I say I feel like I make more money as a notary compared to as an optometrist. I know sometimes some people get tied to their profession. Like, optometry is something that I do. That is just a title. Doctor is just a title that I have. It is not who I am. I am an ambitious, intelligent, skillful, knowledgeable, hardworking African-American woman who just happens to be an optometrist, who just happens to be a notary, who just happens to be a wedding officiant. I just happen to be these things, but they do not define who I am. And I think for some people in our profession, in our optometry profession, they are tied so much to the title that they wouldn't even recognize who they were if they were not practicing optometry. And that's definitely not me. Part of the reason why I created my channel and stuff like that, because I would get labeled as just this particular person, like I'm a doctor or whatever. Like, no, it's so many more aspects and facets of me that I want people to see. And right now, being a notary is one of them. Okay, but that's all I had to share. I hope this is helpful for someone, and they will actually consider a career in becoming a notary, because it is really good. It is a really good career, and there is some decent money to be made from it. All right. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Take care, everyone.